We're going to look back at some of the weekend action with Trust Forward, but we're going to look at a specific player, and no prizes for guessing the specific player that may be, who may in time become one of this particular club, Arsenal's most trusted players. He's certainly writing all the headlines, that is for sure. What do Arsenal and maybe England have in Max Dowman? 16 years and 73 days old. He became the youngest scorer in Premier League history. He surpassed the likes of James Vaughan and Wayne Rooney. With Arsenal struggling to break Everton down, the score at 0-0, Arteta brought on Dowman in the 74th minute, and he won the game for Arsenal with an assist and a goal. This was Arteta on this young boy.
Rolling ahead, I had a gut feeling, and yesterday was training and the last few days, and I had a gut feeling that it was a moment for him, and probably it's because he doesn't seem to be faced by the occasion or the moment or the context or the opponent. He just plays so naturally. He makes decisions to make things happen, and what he delivered, it was incredible.
It sure was. He's been training, Martin, with the Arsenal first team since he was 14. Simon, you've mentioned this boy as well. But I'll ask you, Martin, we'll get into it because of the age, etc., and the aspects around that. What do Arsenal have in him?
Oh, an immense talent. There's no doubt. I mean, obviously, people have been trying to protect. He's been training with the first team now for 18 months. He was injured for 3 months, and that's why he hasn't been used up to now. When Eri was allowed to go, another top talent's been allowed to go to Marseille. The pathway's there for him. And the manager was just waiting for a moment. The Mansfield game was interesting because the pitch was really poor, but yet he was dancing across the pitch, could have had a hat-trick in that game and didn't. And it was like, okay, right. On any surface, this kid looks like he can do the business. And the timing to put him on, Jim, because you have to protect these young players. But this young kid doesn't seem to know any nerves. He doesn't seem to be fazed by anything. He comes on in the wide right position and he sends a teasing ball in where England's top goalkeeper comes and thinks, yeah, I can get that. He doesn't. And then eventually it's in the back of the net. And the second goal, Jim, is all about him. If he loses possession of that ball, he could have been excused. I probably would have cleared it. But no, he's thinking, if I can get past one player and I get past two players, which he does with another little jing, beautiful touch with his right foot, I can run this all the way through. So there was an element of risk about that, but it was quite brilliant. He's probably going to play as a 10 eventually. It'd be very interesting to see now how the manager uses him because, you know, look, this kid is still, he hasn't got a provisional license. You know, he's taken his GCSEs this summer. You have to check the birth certificate. It's remarkable. In fact, I thought you guys might be running with a story. You know, the narrative always seems to change. You know, Arsenal can only win the league with a 16-year-old kid. Do you know? Because he's that good, but he has to be used wisely by the manager. I'm sure he will be.
There's a bunch of noise around him now, Simon. That's almost inevitable. Here's an example of that noise, if you like. This was Alan Pardew on The Final Word.
I mean, going back to the young boy, he is an exceptional talent because he has this way that once he gets into full speed, he moves his body and he can move. He just moves defenders just with a slight movement of his body. And only great players can do that. Johan Cruyff could do that. George Best could do that. Messi can obviously do that. And I had a player at Newcastle, Hatem Ben Arfa, who was a bit like that. And Dowman has got that ability when he has the ball. To baffle defenders just by the slight movement of his body.
John Terry joined in as well, Simon. I watched him play against Chelsea about a year ago. I haven't seen anybody glide past people like this boy does, other than Messi. And that's a big comparison. But this guy's a proper talent and will play a big part in Arsenal's future and also England as well. So Arsenal have got a job in their hands here, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice job to have in your hands, isn't it? I mean, I saw him 3 years ago, a little bit more than 3 years ago, when he was 13. They were raving about him then at Arsenal, raving about him. And I remember Rio Ferdinand talking about 2.5 years ago, talking about this kid that Arsenal have got in their academy. He'll be on a scholarship contract with a pro contract on the back of it, so he's still only getting paid scholarship money. So that could be 500 quid a week, could be even less. You know, who knows what Arsenal pays a scholarship. But they'll have done a scholarship deal because he's 16. You can't sign a pro contract until you're 17. His pro contract will be a gimme because the scholarship contract will have referenced it when he signed it. What's nice to see is technically talented players being produced that are British players because we always rave so much about the Lamals of the world and all the younger players around the world that are playing in other countries. We've got one here. This is a journey for him, though. I mean, we have seen many players that have got really significant ability. How they manage him, how they keep him away from the distractions, which will be media-centric and agent-centric. I don't know what his family are like. We've seen it before with Jude Bellingham, well managed by their families. He's a prestigious talent. And, you know, he was the go-to ball. When he comes on in many games for Arsenal that he's played, they look for him. They look
That's
for him
been
to change the game.
significant, isn't it? Seeing the players trusting him, giving him the ball, because they know he can do something. And I think the way they all celebrated, and, you know, people have said the Arsenal team I played in was full of superstars, Jim. This might be that player that then takes the club on. But it has to all be managed, and we will have to keep a lid on it.
Are we talking about the super of superstars? There's a message from Martin. The Brazilians had a big decision to make many years ago. Pelé was 16, went to the World Cup.
Mm-hmm. The rest is history. Jim, let's reserve judgment.
Max Dowman. There's a World Cup.
No. You know, I think that happened to Theo Walcott without even actually playing in an Arsenal team, and that was done based on, you know, Sven with respect, saw him train. I was there that day, working in the staff at Arsenal. You know, look, you wouldn't deny him it, but I can't. I mean, he's going to have to do an awful lot between now and the end of the season, Jim, if he's going to get into a World Cup squad. And we've got enough tens to stock a whole team, haven't we, at the moment? But no, let's just. I mean, I think it's a huge plus for Arsenal. It's just like some huge signing. It creates a lot of pride in the club when you develop somebody through the ranks and it comes to fruition, because they always knew it was there. And it's an iconic moment, really.
Has he always been? He's not one of those that Arsenal are pinched from another academy, which is often the case. Has he been developed all the way through?
I believe he's been through there. You're right. Rio Ferdinand brought him to my attention about 3 years ago. Was, you know, Rio watches a lot of that football, and he just said, he was giggling. He thought he was that good. So it's great to see him, Jim, finally do something in the first team that really counts. Youngest player to ever score a goal in the Premier League, and remarkable. Good
luck to Max. Martin, I mean, as we head towards 12 noon, is there a momentum about Arsenal again? I mean, are they finding a way no matter what?
Do you know what we'll say, Jim? Just to be balanced, you know, sometimes being accused of not being balanced. Everton, I thought were really magnificent in the game. Calafiori makes a block. It's ridiculous. I don't know how he got in the way of it. You know, Everton could have been 2 up. You know, some of the saves from the goalkeeper. So David Moyes forever getting better for me, even now. I'm not sure what age he is, but he's even better as a manager. Everton looking good away from home, 24 points this season. They were right in this game to the 87th minute. Arsenal, though, had 22 goals, 22 shots. And it seemed to be a matter of time. But when it flicked a switch and they found a way to win, which was really impressive.
So, I mean, to be cheeky, have they swapped bottle for grit?
Bottle for grit. I just think this is different this year. It's like we're not seeing what we've seen in years gone by, where they couldn't quite get over the line. They find a way to win now.
Which they do, but they're not going to be challenged in the way that I thought they might be. I mean, City.
Well, Sunday's a challenge for them.
Yeah, in the Carabao Cup. But either which way, I think even if Arsenal were to lose this Carabao Cup, which is a possibility, it's a 50-50 game.
Of course.
That I don't think it will undermine their pursuit of the Premier League. It's their time.
They don't play in the Premier League for a month.
It is their time.
With England games coming up.
And whether Michael likes it or not, it is theirs to lose, because other people have got to do things that Arsenal don't. So bottom line is, if Arsenal continue to play the way they're playing, they will win the Premier League. The challenge for me is in terms of, like last year with Liverpool, they aren't being pushed by the opposition, despite the fact that Man City are in proximity. When it comes to the end of the season, I bet you there's a gap. I bet you there's a 9-point gap between the two sides.
Really? Like when Leicester won it?
No. In terms of the defending champions have not been anything vaguely resembling what defending champions should be.
No.
Aston Villa are falling away. The only side that are actually really going forward with significant momentum are Manchester United, ironically.
Say it's a comfortable win for Manchester City on Sunday, Martin. That would no way derail what your boys are trying to do.
Look, between now and then, Arsenal play against Bayern Leverkusen, who, by the way, drew with Bayern Munich at the weekend.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of football between now and then. But, City, may feel that was a backward step last weekend. They've got a Champions League. Are they going to go out of that? If they were to go out of the League Cup as well, all of these things have a detrimental effect going forward. Arsenal only think about themselves right now, and they need to go past Leverkusen, and then they can think about a nice day out at Wembley.
We got through that Arsenal chat without even mentioning John Obi Mikel and what he mentioned about Arsenal.
I don't know, what did you give him to drink that day?
We haven't forgotten that. That was a look back at the weekend's football action, specifically Arsenal beating Everton and Max Dowman being the star player.